What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? As usual, hope we're doing well. It is a Wednesday, and we're doing our usual Wednesday stream. You guys can hear me, right? You guys should be able to hear me. Yep. You can't hear me that well though, so I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. You should be able to hear me a little bit better now. I hope anyway. Hope everything's all good with my microphone. I accidentally bumped into it and did that thing where like you knock something over and you're like, damn, damn. I just not fuck. That fucking sucks. I just knocked over a water bottle trying to show you guys. I just fucked myself up. Uh, all right, I got. All right, that's good then. That's good. I got tissues, which is not ideal, but I don't feel like having to get up. Let me. Sorry. One second. 1 second. Un momento, por favor. I have to just make sure none of my electronics are too badly messed up. But couldn't hear a thing good now. You're clipping a bit though. Oh boy. Let me see if let me see if that helps. It doesn't help that I'm not some kind of fucking audio engineer. So because of that, it doesn't help that I'm not some kind of audio engineer. So because of that, I don't know how to fix these issues. Like sometimes I do hear the clipping in my microphone after I listen to things back because I listen to a lot of my streams back. I don't even do clipping anymore, like clipping for my channel. But I still listen to all my streams back because I used to do clips, my own clips. I used to clip my own channel, and that would be how I would figure it out, right? But oh, excuse me, I gotta adjust something real quick as well. Anyway, oh, clipping like your max loud, really? Is it any better now? Is it any better now? I hope it's better now. You know, it should be a little bit better now. It should be. I'm hoping. But anyway, just let me know. Let me know. I'll fix it. But anyway, what's going on, Smart Moron? What's going on, Zachary Vered? As usual, thank you, Zach, for the link that you made. Um, it is a Wednesday, and we are doing our it is a Wednesday, and we are doing our Wednesday stream is what we are doing, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm kind of tired. I'm just drained. I am on a diet that is kind of intensive, and here's the thing. It's not just that it's a diet. It's that I think I'm so used to not having to like work out all the time that now that I'm kind of like doing a little bit of something, it's just too much on my body. I've gotten like so fat, but it is what it is. What's going on, Cherry Blossom? I hope you're doing well today. Um, but yeah, so we're just gonna do our thing. We're just gonna do our thing today. Oh man, sorry. Like it's been a struggle trying to lose weight, and I don't trust doctors. I got to be honest with you. Here's the thing. It's not that I'm like completely anti-doctor or anything like that. It's just that a lot of the time they don't address the crux of an issue. And I'm convinced they don't actually know what they're talking about nearly as much as they think they do. Like just common sense dictates, right? That the heavier you are, the more weight your body has to become accustomed to carrying around. And because of that, you will get tired easier, right? It's not just that you're out of shape because your cardio's bad, right? You can be small and skinny and your cardio can be bad. Yes, but literally when you're bigger, you have to carry around more weight. Therefore, you're going to get tired quicker because it's more of a load. Like if you took somebody who's say 150 to 170 pounds and you made them walk around with a 40 to 60 pound weight vest on all day, they'd be a lot more tired a lot quicker regardless of what they're doing. Walking up the stairs, they're gonna kind of be like, oh man, that kind of kicked my ass a little bit, right? I've been dealing with chronic dehydration ever since before the summertime. Excuse me. And like nothing I do seems to help. And the only explanation I have for that is that I'm just too fucking big now. That when I work out, I get that much more tired and that much more dehydrated. It makes sense empirically. I don't know if empirically is the like rationality says that that is true. But when I go to the doctor, I'm like, "Yo, I'm not having these headaches because I'm so fucking fat, am I?" And he's like, "No, no, no. That's not how it works." It's like, "Are you fucking sure, dude? Are you sure?" Because I used to drink the same amount of water back when I was 220 pounds and I was fine. I wouldn't get these headaches, at least not nearly as often. Now, every time I fucking work out, and in some cases, it's just like I go to the gym and I do a little bit of light sparring. I do like 3 rounds of light sparring, and all of a sudden, I'm just like, I'm fucking, my ass is kicked. And I have this weird headache. And if I go to bed, I'm going to wake up with a worse headache the next day, even though I'm drinking water. Like, what is going on, you know? I just the more I look at things, the more I think nobody actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, you know? And it's definitely true because the amount of like even cybersecurity guys, it's funny. I've told you guys that I'm trying to get into cybersecurity. I guess it's not a really good time to be trying to get into cyber, but whatever. I started, I'm almost done with my Sec Plus, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see it through and I'm gonna keep on doing my thing and I'm gonna see if there's a way I can slide into a position somewhere in the next year and a half or so, right? But um I have a long way to go before that. But like fucking I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm a little bit and we are going to talk about the ice thing, by the way. Obviously. I'm just doing my usual talking about whatever's going on right now thing. Um even like earlier today, I'm looking up people who are talking about what it's like to be a cybersecurity professional, specifically a SOC analyst, right? Um, and this guy literally had to Google some shit. Like he didn't know what this one thing did, so he had to Google it. Which there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. If you don't know, how else are you gonna figure out? You got to figure out somehow, right? But it's just like knowing that that's what doctors do, knowing that that's what cybersecurity guys do, knowing that's what everybody does. It's like, does fucking nobody know their own job at all? Does nobody have any real idea of what's going on? Is everything just a Google search and now a Chat GPT query to everybody? Is that what everything is, you know? And now like I'm fucking 275, 280 pounds and I'm looking it. When I stand up, I look a lot worse than I did back on Fish Tank, I'll tell you that much. And I'm having a hard time even working out to lose the weight because every time I work out I get headaches and the doctor's just like, "Yeah, just drink more water." No, it's not cuz you're fat. It's like, dude, what are you fucking talking about, man? Um, we could use a sec guy at the MSP I work with. Honestly, dude, fucking, it's like I said, I'm a ways away from being proficient at anything. Basically, I would have to get my sec plus, and then I would have to start trying to specialize in something, and get what's it called? Get experience with the work, both at home stuff as well as if I can do any volunteer work or intern work, or if I can get work in like say just general like IT, like help desk type stuff. I got to go for some other certs as well, but I can do those more down the line. But like honestly, like if I'm not gonna say no if somebody ever was like, oh hey, we want you. It's like, oh, but no, I'm not ready. Nah, it's cool. I'll get ready on the job. Thank you so much. You know, um, Soy Rage 835. There's barely anyone with a passion in their jobs, and this is why we need autists to rule the world. Really, we do. You know, you used to have to be autistic to do certain things. You know, you used to have a passion for healthcare. Um, to be a doctor, especially like a general practitioner, because you never know what the issue could be. And if you don't have the ability to diagnose something, then you have to send them to a specialist. So you better know a thing or two, you know? Um, but like now dudes can just Google, so it's whatever, who cares, you know? Have have you tried Chinese peptides? I'd rather avoid those, but I am getting to a point where I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should, maybe next time I go to the doctor, I just should. I don't know, you know. But I am on a diet that will help. Like it is going to help. It is helping. It's just I got to be able to keep on going with that diet. You know, we'll see though. We'll see. Not really. Most of my IT experience was on the job. You don't need certs. Uh, I mean, here's the thing though. Like, you see, on one hand, like I've seen people who are just like, whatever, just apply to the jobs. You know, you'd be surprised how many interviews you get, and you can maybe get like maybe you can ace one of the interviews, and you'll be all good. I've seen people who are like that, but then I've also seen the majority of people who are like, before I got my job, I had to have Sec Plus, and then they went on to not a bunch, but like a few other certifications that were kind of popular. You know, me personally, I don't fucking know anything, and there's no, I do not have the personality to walk into a place and convince people. Oh, excuse me. I do not have the personality to walk into a place and convince people that I should be around, even though I don't know anything, just because I'm that likable. I'm not likable enough. It's just the truth of the matter. I didn't learn how to be that way when I was a kid, and I've actually gotten better than I used to be. But I'm never gonna be like 100%. You know, I'm just too quiet. I'm too withdrawn. I'm not enough of a people person. You know. So like I don't think I'm gonna walk into wherever I try to apply to with no certifications and no experience and be like, hey bud, you want me? You should totally have me. Hey, dude, I don't know shit, but you know what? Why don't you just go ahead and have me on? And then the other thing too is that like a lot of people who are like that, they at least kind of know something about computers prior to. I'm not a computer guy. I'm becoming a computer guy as time goes on. It's getting a lot easier to understand things. Even looking at code, like I don't, obviously you have to learn each language individually, but like somebody explained, I forget exactly which code it was, but somebody kind of explained certain things about a certain popular coding language that like as soon as he explained it, I was like, "Oh shit, I feel like I kind of get this now." I don't know how to speak it, but like I feel like I got the grammar down, you know? Um you know what I mean though. You know what I mean by that. Got to be a swindler to do that. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is one thing. Like I'm like I will embellish on a resume because that is what you have to do, you know. And I have more experience than you would realize with security and security principles, you know. That's what the activist shit was. We had to practice some of the things that I even learned in Sec Plus just to make sure that our comms were not like owned by anybody and like other shit like that, you know. We had dudes that were actually good with tech who would set things up for us and who would school us on stuff like that, you know. But I'm not like I'm not enough, you know. I'm not enough of a tech guy, and then in addition to that, like that was not enough for me to really be able to point to it, but I could embellish it and be like, yeah, you know, I do have some experience. We did this and that and this and that, you know. But what's going on? ECTH etch Ect Ect Ek oh Ek the Lion. Ah, okay, I see. Watching on Kick. Hello, how are you? How are you? Fake the fuck out of your resume. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, the thing is, it's a well known thing today. It's a well known thing today. Scott, Scott, your talk CompTIA. What? Huh? I don't know what you mean by that. The rug man pulleth. Um, what's it called? It's a very well known thing though. It's a very well known thing that that um HR people are just like shitheads. It's a very well known thing that HR people love to put out job advertisements that either A, the company doesn't really want them or need them, or B, like they get a candidate and they hire them and they don't take the job ad down. They don't take the ad down or like other shit like that, you know. It's very well known that these HR people, who by the way are the least skilled in anything ever anywhere, it's very well known that these people are scumbags. So if you think I'm going to be 100% truthful with them, no way, you know. I don't know. I don't even do that in retail and like labor, you know? If they are absolutely adamant that they need like people from my old jobs, I'll either A, put down jobs that don't fucking exist anymore because they closed down, or B, I'll give them my friend's number and be like, "Yo, just a heads up." you know? Um but yeah, anyway. Oh, talking CompTIA Sec Plus. Yes. Yes, sir, I am. It was not look, Sec Plus is an entry level cert. It is like it's kind of bare bones, it's basic, but I am surprised how undaunted by it I was. Obviously, I haven't quite finished it. I am very close to finishing it, and I have to take the test. But any of the exercises that I do, practice tests, anything like that, I do pretty well on, and I have a better time understanding a lot of vocabulary and other things like that than I expected to. So I am bullish about it. I am bullish about it. You know, Sec Plus is an IT certification. Well, I mean, it yeah. I mean, so is A plus. So is Network Plus. You know, so is all of the other, like IT is a general field as I understand it. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a tech guy. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But as I understand it, IT is a general field, and in the umbrella known as IT, you have help desk, you have what's it called? Cybersecurity, you have engineers of different kinds and things like that, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Either way, you know. Either way. Her name was George Foyd. Yes. Oh man. Sec Plus is easy. CCNA is AIDS. That's what. That's yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for the hammer to drop, and I'm gonna, like when it does, it's like whatever. I just got to get through it. You know. Um. Oh man. But anyway. Sorry, I'm just looking around here. Just looking around here. You're 270. I thought you were like 220, 230. Yeah, I mean, I wear the weight well because all my life I've been an athlete, you know. So when I do get fat, it doesn't look as bad. There's a difference between me and like as an example, what Airsoft Fatty used to look like, you know. Airsoft Fatty didn't play baseball, football, soccer, wrestle, like, and then get into MMA after he was done with his youth sporting career, you know. Um so that's why his body developed the way that it did when he put on that weight, assuming you know what I mean when I say put on that weight. But like me, because I've been an athlete my whole life, and not just that, but because I am active, it's just I'm not active enough and active in the ways that I need to be. When I put on weight, it looks a little bit better on me. But yeah, I do look pretty bad. How's he doing now? I don't know. I hope he's doing all right. He unfollowed me and a lot of people on Instagram. You know, every now and again, like I get the urge. I don't like. It's not like I'm sitting here just like Airsoft Fatty. Does he still follow me? But like every now and again, I'll see somebody on like Instagram or Twitter. They'll come across my feed, and I'll be like, oh yeah, it's been a while. I wonder if they still follow me. And like I'll check, and some people follow me, other people don't. And Airsoft Fatty unfollowed a lot of people. Um, because I like when I saw he unfollowed me, I was like, wow, that sucks. Like, what the fuck, man? Why'd you do that? Whatever. I mean, do your thing. But I also wonder if it was some kind of personal thing, like he just decided he didn't like me or something like that. But no, he unfollowed quite a few people from the fish tank world specifically. Oh, excuse me. Soccer sucks. Soccer is like soccer's fun to mess around with, but like the idea of being into soccer like that is like, yeah, and I don't think I need that. I don't think I need that. I don't think I need that. Call him. Call call Airsoft Fatty. I don't got his number. I'm gonna I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him and be like, why'd you do that, bro? Dude, why'd you do that, man? Never felt good being below 190. I've like I don't feel bad necessarily, except for the fact that, like I said, when I work out, I get headaches, and that that makes it hard to work out because if I work out on a Monday, Tuesday I'm gonna have a headache, so I can't work out Tuesday. If I work out Wednesday, I'm gonna have a headache Thursday, so I can't work out Thursday. But also, what'll happen is I'll have a headache on Monday. I'll work out on Monday, have a headache on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I still won't feel completely and totally okay. So then I can't I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm not gonna bother, you know. And then the next day I can work out is a Thursday, so it's like, ah, shit, you know. Um, but anyway, no, just be like, how are you? I don't have that kind of a relationship with Chris, you know. I think Chris is a cool dude. I like him. I'm proud of him for what he's done, but I don't have that kind of relationship with Chris. When I figured out Greg unfollowed me on Twitter, that's another example of like I see Greg come across my timeline and I'm like, oh, you know, I haven't talked to him in a while, and I click on I click on his Twitter profile, or I tap on it or whatever, and I see, oh, he doesn't follow me back anymore. That, like, Twitter will just say follows you on it. So when I saw that wasn't there anymore, I was like, oh shit, damn. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little upset. I was like, man, what the fuck, dude? Like, Greg, I love you, man. What the hell? And I unfollowed him on Twitter, and I still haven't followed him back. But then I realized, dude, like, it's Greg. If there's anybody I can hit up and be like, hey man, how you doing? It's Greg. So I hit him up and I asked him if he wanted to be on a Jeopardy stream, I believe it was, and he said yeah. But then, of course, like I said, I got busy, you know. So me and Greg are still cool. I think he either just unfollowed me by accident, or maybe he just doesn't like the politics that I post on Twitter, but he likes me as a guy. You know, and it's like, all right, man, it's cool. You know, I'm sure there's political beliefs you have that I'm not a big fan of. I'm not gonna begrudge you for that. You know, it's all good. Um, but yeah, like me and Greg are cool though. You know, but Airsoft Fatty, I don't have that kind of relationship with him. He was just somebody that I met through Fish Tank. Um, you know, I like the dude and I'd be around him again. I'd love if there ever was a Blood Games too. I'd love for him to be there too. Excuse me. I don't know what the but it crashed. I just don't know what's going on. I don't uh-oh. Oh, there we go. My stream crashed for a half a second. I don't know if you guys saw that, but um yeah, you know, I mean, like it is what it is, you know. Like it's not like he and I are best pals, you know. Um, so whatever, it is what it is. Um, Soccer is cool when they score, but it's rare. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I only watch Barcelona and AC Milan. I've never watched any of them. When I want to joke around, I LARP as a Celtic FC fan, but I'm not really. Obviously, I'm just like I like to fuck around. Especially because the Green Brigade, which is their hooligan firm, they're a bunch of Antifa losers. So you know, oh, excuse me. Oh. Do you happen to know if you're gonna be on season 5? I don't fucking know nothing, dude. You know, I would assume no. I'm not planning on it. I'm not like I don't even know when season 5 is gonna be. You know, so it beats me. Apparently, they're working on a video game, and I know potentially what that video game is, and I'm hoping that I would make it into that video game. Um, but I don't know if I would end up getting snubbed. You know. Um. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would get snubbed. I would consider that a bit of a snub. I got to be honest with you. If I didn't make it into that video game, knowing what the video game potentially is. Um, but hey, you know, that is what it is. I'm not gonna tell you anything I know about any video games because for one thing, that was over the summer that I heard about this. And then for another thing, like I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. I knew about the video game for a while, but Sam mentioned it on PKA, and that's the only reason I'm saying, oh yeah, I remember they were talking about a video game, and I know what the video game is, and but I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna tell you. Um, but yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna be on season 5. You know, I've look, I don't wanna say I was cut out, even though it seems that way, and for all intents and purposes, it went down that way. You know, but um, like I will say that when I hit up people who they are newer than me, and yet fucking like they're telling me, dude, I can't tell you. When I'm curious about what's going on with like season 5 or whatever, and I hit somebody up and I'm like, hey man, what's going on with that? Have there been any developments? And this guy who's been around for like only since season 2.5 or only since the summer or whatever. When somebody like that is telling me, dude, sorry, I can't tell you because we're just keeping it tight lipped, it's like, all right, bro, whatever, go fuck yourselves, you know? Good luck. Good luck, you know? I ain't holding my breath. And yeah, that's just gonna be that. Like, good luck to them on season 5. And depending on where I happen to be and where they happen to be, if they really wanted me on and they wanted to hit me up, it's like, well, why not? I do enjoy the project. But in fact, I love the project so much I offered to not take money for 2.5 when I figured out that it was actually not a financial success. When I thought it was a financial success, I asked them, "Hey, so were we even getting paid?" I never discussed that with anybody. As soon as Jet hit me up, I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." You know? Um and then they explained to me, yeah, you're getting paid. It's not going to be a ton though. We are kind of strapped. And I was like, oh, dude, don't even pay me. And they insisted on paying me. They gave me the money. I'm not going to say how much it was, but they gave me the money. Um, and like that was that. But like, you know, I do love the project, so I would do it for the love of the project. But yeah, I am. It's no secret that I have been a little frustrated in the past, and I would say even currently with some of the like, oh, this guy who showed up one day and now they're a camera person. That's just an example. I'm not pointing to anyone specific. You know, this person who showed up one day and now they're a camera person. They get to know things, but me, I'm out of the loop and I get kept out of the loop. It's like when have I ever blown cover for anybody? I know everything about 2.5. 2.5. I know everything about Blood Games 2. This is not like a threat. This is me saying like, yo, if I was gonna spill something, don't you think I would have spilled something about that by now? I'm not that obsessed with clout. I have 12 people watching my YouTube stream right now. I don't it is what it is. I'm it doesn't matter to me like that, you know? I want to be a part of something cool that I enjoy doing and that I think is going to be like something that gets remembered as time goes on, you know? So because of that, I'm not doing what some people in the past have done, which is like, "Oh, hey everybody, look at me. I have some info. Here it is." Bleh, you know? I'm not doing that. I know fucking everything about Blood Games too, basically, you know? I'm not going to fucking I ain't gonna say shit about it, you know? Chinaman goes to the eye doctor. Eye doctor says, I think I know what the problem is. You have a cataract. Chinaman says, Chinaman looks up to the doctor and says, no, I drive a Rinkin Continental. Yeah, I've heard that one before. I'm trying to remember where I heard it though. I'm trying to remember where I heard it from though. Anyway, Sam Hyde is nah. I don't think Sam's a d bag. Sam has been good to me. You know, Sam's been very good to me. Um, I appreciate what he um it's a roguelike. It's a roguelike sandbox shooter. It's a road fuck what is it's a roguelike Dark Souls Earthbound inspired sandbox fucking anyway no, I mean Sam's been very good to me, you know. And that's why I, for the most part, was permissive about like what happened with season 3 and a lot of other things, because like that's the first time I really felt burned by these guys, and it's been years since I've known them, and it's like, okay, I get it, you guys are going through some rough shit, like whatever, I understand, it's cool. um like the love and respect and appreciation that I have for Sam for hitting me up time and again to be a part of some really cool shit, specifically basically to be a part of his comeback, you know like I it was late 2021, like December 2021, a week before 2022, that I met him for the first time. And, I just thought it was going to be a one time deal. I thought I was going to hold pads for him and then he'd be like, oh, that was fun, man. Haha. And then he'd get busy or something like that. But no, he kept in touch with me. And obviously, boxing is not as big of a part of his brand anymore. He's moved on to other things because influencer boxing is not that big of a thing anymore. So it's like, well, okay, like he doesn't really need me around like that. Um, but yeah, like it was cool to be a part of the comeback of one of the best comedians of the 2010s, one of the most underrated comedians of the 2010s. That was really cool. I like that, and I appreciate that. Scott, Scott Sullivan comeback 2026. It's gonna happen, boys. It's gonna happen. Um, I actually knew Blood Gang members met Redman and Method Man. Were they Bloods or something? They lived modestly. Yeah, yeah, they did. They do live modestly. That was the source of a joke. Um, that was like they played like a joke on MTV Cribs, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Method Man. They showed his house and it was his actual house and they like trashed it or something like that. You you and iDubbbz could do the funniest thing. Dude, a video gets released on iDubbbz's channel. A video gets released on iDubbbz's channel and it's me holding pads for him. Oh man. Anyway, um man. Sam's not in charge of Fish Tank casting anyway. I mean, I'm not going to get into the politics of Fish Tank, right? I'm not going to get into the who has what power to do or say what. There's no reason for me to start talking about that. I feel like that is a little bit weird, you know. But yeah, shame you and Alex B never interacted. He loves Cobra Kai and was giving Job self defense tips. I think they were trying to set that up and it just didn't work because like shortly after people started leaving, like I do remember Sam was like, if I got a karate teacher, would you guys like want that? And everyone was like, yeah. And then like a day later, like a day later, everybody started leaving. It was like Laron and I think what's her face, the blonde Alexis. She looks like an Alexis. I've never met an Alexis that was not like some kind of weird like 1,000 pounds of makeup, like Botox, lip fillers type chick. I've never met a girl who has been named Alexis who is not like that. Yeah, like that would have been fun, and that's who the like I did that Shane Burgos character. That's mainly what that was for, was to like play. I wanted to be Alex B and just keep ratcheting it up because Alex B is the kind of guy where like he's gonna meet you and or exceed you wherever you're at. I just wanted to see how much I could get Alex to like just hop himself up on just pure like Alex B adrenaline, like pure adrenaline is what I wanted. I wanted to see that. That's like one of the major things I had in mind when I started like thinking about the Shane Burgos character. And that's why I was going to go in and like as Sam introduced me, I was going to be like really like, "Hey everybody, how's it going?" When Sam fuck. You know what I mean, Anyway, Um, oh man. Have you played the Burt Murder House game? No, I've never played the Burt Murder House game. What's that chemical? I'm curious about that. Man, I am curious about that. I would like to know what kind of murder house shit Bert's doing. We were supposed to talk about the ice thing, but like we're already 40 minutes in basically, and I don't know I don't know how to segue into that. Just be like, hey, so about the woman that got shot. That's probably what I just have to do. I mean, season 3 was on par to be the best season. It was on par to be the best season, and then actually, was it on track to be the best season? I don't know. No, you know what? Season 4 was on track to be the best season, and I was actually like low key jealous. I was low key jealous about that. Because season 4 is like, especially they got Bam Margera. That was like wild. That was crazy that they got Bam Margera. Good for them. Good for them. That season 4 could have been the best season. There was so much shit packed into 2 weeks. You know, um, if they had a full 6, I could only imagine. I could only imagine. The famous house thing on season 3, everybody agrees that was pretty insane. That was pretty cool. Um, have you seen the video of her wife afterwards saying it's my fault I made her come down here? No, what are you talking about? Whoa, WH. What are you talking about? Of her wife? Are you talking about the woman who got shot? Was that like a lesbian chick who was like, I'm gonna show those ice guys? Is that what happened? That's pretty insane. Um, I really want to know what you're talking about, Whoa WH. I'm kind of waiting for you to be like, hey, here it is. Um, the problem with the Alex B archetype, John and Jimmy also, is they're the most entertaining kind of guys, but their temperaments can only last until halfway through at best. Yeah, yeah. I think so for sure. They burn out. That's why like my endurance to put up with bullshit is very good. Like if I know the thing is they had somebody like me. Me and Vance are very similar, you know? I think I talk more than Vance if anything. I talk and I overthink more than Vance does. Um but like I could have made it to the end of season 1 if I had no clue who those guys were, just because I'm so low energy, and not like low energy like deflated, but low energy is in like my output. I'm a marathon. Someone like Alex B is a sprint, you know? He loses his energy and he's gonna find a way out of the situation, and it's not gonna be like, hey y'all, I'm just tired. I think I need to go home. I miss my wife and my monkeys. It's not gonna be that. It's gonna be, oh no, fuck that. Fuck you. You think you can do that? No. Fuck you, man. You gayfer? You pregnant ginger? Fuck you, man. You gay for ginger? Fuck you. I'm out of here. He's gonna find a way to make it into like you drove him away, as opposed to him just being like, I gotta get out of here. That's the way Alex. That's how Alex B is. Vance is like a creative character in a video game before you make any changes. I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Um, oh man. Um, Have you talked to Vance lately? Nah, nah. That's the thing, is like me and Vance. I don't know that we have a ton to talk about. I do. I appreciate him because, like I said, I think he and I are similar. I think he cares about the people that are around him. I think he wants to see everybody do well. I don't think he's much of a talker. Um, I mean, he's not much of a talker, but he's just a cool guy. But like because of that, we just don't really have that much to talk about. But like whenever we do talk, it's always like good vibes and shit like that. Um, I try not to bother people as well. Like there's some people I don't talk to, not because I don't want to talk to them, but because I'm like, nah, they probably don't want to talk to me about what I want to talk to them about. So I'm gonna just leave them alone. I'm gonna just let them do their thing. Um, Oh yeah, the woman who got shot as a rainbow-haired lesbian. Okay, then we got to stop and talk about that then. Yeah, so there was a woman in Minneapolis who got shot because she tried to run over an ICE guy apparently. And um she was in her I remember seeing video. I didn't see multiple angles. I guess there's multiple angles. I'm not going to show the video because I feel like that'll get me zucked, but apparently, I don't know what the deal was. If she drove up specifically to try and like fuck with somebody, or if she was just like, I'm here for the protest. I took a wrong turn. I was trying to look for parking. But either way, the police, ICE, they wanted her to get out of the car, right? There was some aspect of what she was doing that they felt was infringing, obstructing their search for whoever they were there for or whatever business they had. They told her to get out of a car, and instead of getting out of the car, she decided she would go forward into an ICE guy that was standing in front of the car. Now, controversial opinion, I don't like seeing cops stand in front of a car and then get mad when you drive into them. I don't like seeing anyone do that, but that is what it is. She drove into that guy knowing that he was standing right there. He ended up shooting her in the head, and yeah, that's that. I didn't know that it was a lesbian though who like got a call from her fucking wife. Her wife that I'm sure has never put hands on her for any reason before, you know. I'm sure that's not an abusive relationship or anything like a lot of those tend to not be, because lesbian relationships are the most peaceful, loving relationships because women are the most fair, objective, and peace loving and kind sex. That's for sure. They never lash out for no reason. Um, no, but like apparently it was a pink-haired lesbian chick. And that is crazy. Look, here's the thing. I don't want to wish death upon or celebrate the death of anybody. However, I don't also have to cry. I don't have to pout about it. That cop was justified. He was justified, even though, like I said, I don't really like that move. I don't like the whole move of I'm going to stand in front of your car and then shoot you when you try and drive. It's like, what did you think was going to happen if somebody was trying to get out of there? You know, that is one thing about cop tactics that I don't like. Is there's a lot of cop tactics that they do things that it's like, well, what do you think somebody's going to do? It's like the whole stop resisting thing. If somebody thinks they're going to die, they don't care that you're a cop. They just want to get away. If somebody's in that fight or flight sense, that like they're not thinking rationally, they're just that scared, of course they're going to resist. Instead of yelling stop resisting and tasing them, you should learn how to actually control somebody. But with that aside, that cop was 1,000,000% justified, and I don't feel bad. It sucks whenever somebody dies, but I don't feel bad for this specific person. It'd be nice if nobody had to die. But for this specific person, they got what they were asking for, whether they want to believe they were or not, and that just is what it is. And I'm not gonna sit here justifying anything. I'm not gonna be talking to the enemy here. The same people who were like, Charlie Kirk got shot. The same people who were like that. I'm not gonna pout for them. I'm not gonna cry for them. The same people that tried to make excuses for Irina Zarutska, I'm not gonna do a dance for them. I'm not gonna do a fucking jig for them. They can go fuck themselves. She died. She deserved it. Cry about it. Fuck you. Eat shit. It's gonna be you next. And honestly, I'm gonna have the same thing. I'm gonna have the same thing to say. You're gonna go and you're gonna get in the way of cops and you're gonna try and run them over, and you're gonna wonder why you ended up with a bullet in your head. Fuck off. Eat shit. You know. Um, and the more you look at I almost said hysterical. The more you look at historical stuff, you kind of realize that this kind of thing does not happen often enough. And it's like I said, I'm not saying I wish death on anyone. What I mean is, if you look at the way the law has been enforced between the left wing and the right wing over the last 60 to 80 years, you realize that there is a heavy favoring of letting left-wingers get away with whatever they're doing. Whether it's something as recent as the 2016 to 2020 era where Antifa was allowed to run the streets, and especially in 2020 with the George Floyd race riots, the genocidal George race riots. Um, or if it's something, say, like back in the day where people were rioting for like 5 fucking days at Kent State, and then they attacked the National Guard and they got shot. The If anything does actually happen, it's always framed in the media as though like the cops or the National Guard just showed up and they were like, "Oh, there they are, get them." When really it was, "Hey, don't cross this line." People start crossing the line. They say, "Hey, stop crossing the line. Get back, get back." And then somebody pulls a gun on the National Guard, or somebody throws a rock at the National Guard, or some other injury that is like potentially life threatening occurs, and then the National Guard opens fire. Like that's what happened with Kent State. They burned down an ROTC building. They may have even burned a few more buildings. There was like a week's worth of riots in Ohio. And fucking that's when the National Guard showed up and they killed, I think it was like 2 or 3 people who were attacking them. And that was played in all forms of media as though like the National Guard was like blood, 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 you know. And now the only thing people think about when they think about Kent State is Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, you know. Um, when you see the difference between enforcement of law and order and peace between the left and the right, you realize that this kind of thing needs to happen more. More of them do need to get shot by the cops. I'm not saying you go and do it. I'm not telling you, a person who's just some random fucking guy. And I'm not even telling the cops to just show up and be like, "Pop, pop, pop." What I'm saying is when people do that kind of thing, there needs to be a consequence. In the South, in order to enforce integration, this is something I was thinking about earlier today. In the South, in order to enforce integration of schooling, when integration was forced by the government, they yes, it was Eisenhower. It was Eisenhower. Eisenhower called in not the National Guard, but the U.S. Airborne to fix bayonets and point them at American citizens and march them away from the schools. They were exercising their First Amendment right to peaceably assemble. And the national, excuse me, not the National Guard, U.S. troops, not dudes that were potentially, in some cases, in World War II, were called in, and excuse me, if not Korea, they were called in and they were forced to turn guns on American citizens, conservatives, right wingers, right? And it's funny, this is specifically what I was thinking about earlier. You would think that they would teach about this in school. We didn't learn about this in school. At least I don't remember learning about it in school. And you would think that they would teach something like that in school, because you would think that they would be like, "Oh, this is how evil Whitey was back then. This is how evil they were back then." Is they needed the army to go in and say, "Hey, those black kids can go to the same school as you, buddy." Democracy? What's that? Those kids are going to that school whether you like it or not, and if you don't like it, we'll fucking stab you. We'll shoot you with our Garans. Fucking um you would think that they would teach that in school, but they don't a lot of the time. And I think it's because they realize that even some, like even with how far they've brainwashed people, something like that is simply not like it's not going to have the effect they want. People are going to look at that and they're going to be like, "Whoa, wait a second. I thought democracy was everybody gets to share their thoughts and their feelings. And if enough of you think and feel the same way, you can vote a certain way so that certain things happen." You're telling me that these people democratically voted in a certain way of life, and then people who lived hundreds if not thousands of miles away decided they don't get to live like that anymore, and when they were like, "Hey, we don't like that," they got guns pointed at them by active service military. What? I think that's why they don't highlight that much, if not at all, you know. It's It's insane, you know, but that's the way they want it. They want the ability to do whatever they want, and we can't do whatever we want. This is like, you know, ground level stuff. It's not like this is the type of stuff you hear from Ben Shapiro complaining about shit, right? This is what they want. Um, but what I'm saying is that kind of thing, consequences to the actions of left wing rioters, does not happen nearly enough, and it needs to happen more. And if that's a consequence, then all right, whatever, you know. They didn't cry when Ashley Babbitt got killed. They didn't cry when Charlie Kirk got killed. They didn't cry when Irina Zarutska got killed. She wasn't even like a political activist or pundit. She's just random girl riding the train station. Knife wounds, three or four of them to the neck, and everyone's like, nah, it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, all right, whatever, you know. I'm not gonna do the whole rest in piss thing, but I'm also not gonna be like, oh, it sucks that she's gone. She brought it on herself, you know. And now her wife, who again I'm sure has never laid hands on her before in anger, her wife decided she was like gonna call her and be like, hey, come down here. The blood's on her hands, you know. The blood's not on the cop's hands. The blood's on the wife's hands. The blood's on the hands of the left wing, you know. um I don't have that much pull. There's 19 people watching me on YouTube and maybe a few more people watching me on you know, elsewhere, maybe Twitch or Kick or something like that, you know. I don't have that much pull, but if I could tell anybody, if I could broadcast a message to everybody on Twitter, everybody in the right wing, it would be, stop trying to explain to people, because when you explain, you lose. And that includes when there's a major victory, which this is a victory for us, if we're being honest here. When your enemy dies, it's a victory for you. It's unfortunate that people have to die, but when your enemy dies, it's a victory for you. Um, like, stop, like, when some left wing fucking idiot who knows exactly what they're doing. They're just disingenuous. They're liars. When liars lie, don't be like, "Hey, that's not the truth." Be like, "Shut the fuck up, you idiot. Shut your mouth." You know? It's not important to try and evangelize to the opposition. You know, what's important is making sure that when the younger generations are coming up, they get to see the atrocities of the enemy, so that they don't end up being like the enemy. You can't allow your enemy to have any sort of way to weasel their way in. And this is why we need to liquidate. And when I say liquidate, I don't mean physically liquidate. I know we're talking about somebody who died, right? Who got killed. But um, eh, this is why schools need to be cleared out. Teachers need to be fired. Colleges need to be fucking cleared out. A bunch of different institutions in this world, in this country specifically, have come under the direction and the manipulation of our enemies, and we need to clear them out in two ways. One, we need people in office that are going to do that kind of thing. If Trump was smart, he would put as many embargoes, or, you know, embargo is not the word I'm looking for. He would do as much as he could to fuck with colleges everywhere, to be like, you teaching this stuff? No, you can't. Sorry, pulling funding, and we're also gonna do this, and we're also gonna do that, and we're also gonna do the other thing. And if we figure out anybody's teaching critical race theory or gender theory or studies or whatever, we're fucking get that out of here. Get them out of here. They're not allowed. They're not allowed. You can't do that, right? We need somebody who's going to be willing and able to do that. It's not about getting permission. It's about just fucking doing it, is the bottom line. Like, who cares what the courts say? Who cares what anybody says? Just fucking do it. You know, they don't care what the courts say. They don't care what we say. They just do it. So you got to just do it. You know, and I know it's easy to armchair quarterback, right? It's obviously easy to armchair quarterback, but there's going to be somebody over the next 5 to 10 years who comes along who they're going to have the ability to do that, whether it's the state or the federal level, and you're going to see a lot of improvements in their state. I mean, who's the guy? Ron DeSantis, right? Like, I know he's kind of spotty, but like, a lot of people want to move to Florida, and a lot of people have wanted to move to Florida for a long time. It's because Florida is doing better than a lot of the rest of the country, you know? And it's because Ron DeSantis cares about Florida. He takes care of Florida. Like I said, you could say whatever you want about certain opinions he has about certain places and things. Fine, whatever. I won't even say you're wrong about it. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, you need somebody who actually cares about the people. You know, and the people are not the people are not your enemies. When I say the people, I mean the people who are on your side. You know, I want a president who's gonna get into office and just be like, yeah, I'm not a unifier. I'm not here for the people who hated me and slandered me for the last year and a half or so. I'm here for the people who loved me and wanted me in, and I'm going to take care of them. So go fuck yourself. And I want it to be somebody who's like that for us, not somebody like Joe Biden, who that's who he was supposed to be, but he was too fucking dementia ridden to actually do it in the way that they wanted him to, you know? Um and then Kamala was going to be the same thing, you know. Um, but yeah, it's one, to go back to what I was saying about like actually winning. One, you need to have somebody who's going to clear out those institutions, who's going to come down from the top and be like, that's not allowed anymore. You're not allowed here anymore. Fire that guy. You're disbarred from this profession. You're not allowed to do that. If you keep doing this, we're not going to keep giving you money, you know? Um, but then also we need people to come up from the bottom too, people who are going to, and again, like armchair quarterback, I know this is not exactly me right now, but we need people who are going to be lawyers, who are going to be college professors, who are going to be teachers. Excuse me. I know I rag on teachers. I know I rag on college professors. I call them losers and all this other stuff. It's a loser profession mainly because the kind of people who got into the profession are losers who just want to be able to indoctrinate children with weird pedophilic like bullshit. That's all it is these people, they want to teach kids that it's okay if an adult tries to do something bad to them. That's all they want. That's why I don't respect teachers, because to them it's like 60% of the job is just reading out of a fucking book that was assigned to them, and then the other 40% of the job is them being like, and you know what? This trans flag is going to go right there next to the American flag because trans identity is just as important, and trans rights now, right kids? Right kids? If you say no, or if you just look too indifferent, you're gonna get a D on your next quiz even if you get everything right. I'm gonna yeah, like that's what they fucking do, you know? Um, just in, China hacked email systems of U.S. congressional committees staff using Salt Typhoon to access communications. FT. I would assume that's Fish Tank News, Fish Tank News Network. Is that what it is? Um, what was I gonna say? Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that's like, it's it's funny. Like, one thing that I learn as I learn about cybersecurity is it's funny how most of the times that people get hacked, most of the times a vulnerability is exploited. It's because they did something stupid. Like, it really is like the password that they use is password or some other shit like that, I guarantee you there was some vulnerability that either was not patched or it was patched, but somebody didn't utilize the patch. Somebody didn't update their system, because that's the way it works. Is you'll have a security patch that goes out, but like, if not every, like for instance, right, on Windows 10, the reason why we get updates is because they're updating they're patching. There's vulnerabilities that they need to make sure cannot be utilized. So if you decide you're not going to take an update, that vulnerability is still there, and chances are people know about that vulnerability. So because of that, you're at risk. Other people who have the same exact everything as you, they just have a patched version or the newest patch, they're totally fine. That vulnerability cannot be taken advantage of. But because you decided to hold off on the update, you're now at risk. Like that's every time every fucking time like I'm sitting here watching the Sec Plus thing, which again, I know it's entry level and it's not that big of a deal and yeah, whatever, fine. But every time I'm looking at Sec Plus, the dude is just like, the way you fix this is by keeping your stuff updated. That's what it is every time, you know? Save save us, Scott. Financial Times. I was hoping it was Fish Tank Times. Anyway, the woman who died was probably like, time to stop these bad guys, like my favorite Marvel movie. Exactly, you know? What we're seeing and what we've been seeing for a long time is the hubris of a people who have not had any legitimate pushback. For a long time, the closest thing to pushback that they had was rhinos, who are very clearly just controlled opposition. Um, and you can say what you want about whoever, right? But the bottom line is like, when Mitt Romney is the guy that you're running against, it's like, yeah, that's not exactly opposition, you know. It's like we always ask, what if conservatives conserved? You know, conservatism today is just the liberalism of 5 years ago is really what it is, you know. And now that there's actual opposition and now that there's cameras and they don't have hegemony over media, it's a lot easier to show them doing and saying heinous shit, and they still have not caught on to that yet. And again, it's the hubris of one believing that you truly are the good guy, that the world is a black and white movie, and that you are the good guy just because you believe in Disney bullshit. I watched through all of the Star Wars movies. I said I wasn't going to, but I watched 7 through 9, and I was just making fun of specifically 8 and 9 the whole time. There's just moments where it's like, it's just Disney shit, you know? These are Disney adults who are like, well, as long as we have hope. Like that's in episode 8. I remember like they couldn't get any help. The resistance couldn't get any help from anybody. And Leia was like, they've lost hope. It's like that type of shit, you know? They have a mindset that is like literally that is like, we have hope, we have friendship, through the power of friendship we will win. The force is really just the power of friendship. Like, there's literally people like that IRL, and these are those people. But then in addition to that, it's like I said, they've had no real resistance, no real grassroots right wing, truly right wing, not rhino ring, but rhino wing, but right wing resistance for like fucking 30 to 40 years now. So because of that, it's real easy for them to forget that, nah, bullets kill. that 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 nah, life is fragile, man. Life is fucking fragile. Do you really Is it really worth it to get fucking shot in the head over some fucking Somalian guy that hates you anyway? I don't think it is. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, nah. Not to me, it's not. Not to me. I would not want to do that. Even if I was a left winger, there would be a point where I'd be like, you know, I think these Somalians can take care of themselves. I don't think I'm gonna get fucking killed over this. I'm all set, thanks. You know. Um, I believe you said about Disney adults, but only for Scotty rockers. Yep, or Scotty rocker adults. I should, you know, like I'm realizing this is one of the reasons I never blew up in terms of like anything other than Fish Tank. I just don't have the mindset of an influencer. I'm not always itching to collab with people, and if I am, it's like I ain't going across country to do that. You know, thanks, but I don't I ain't planning a trip just to hang out with you. I'm sorry. I love you. I appreciate you, but I don't have the time, the energy, or the money to be like, I got a job and I got a gym to run, so I can't just be running around everywhere. But then in addition to that, like and I should have done this by now. What I need to do, people made those Scotty Rocker edits, the songs specifically. I should be using the fucking songs as my intro and outro music. This shit. Like when I put that screen up, I mean, like I appreciate Chris Lynch for letting me use his song for free, but like I've had that for so long. When I got that Scotty Rocker song, there was like a there was a reggae one, and I feel like there was another one too. There may have been a couple. There may have been a couple of them. A few of them. I forget though. I do remember the reggae one specifically. That one was great, and I need that one. Um, if somebody could send it to me, I'd appreciate it because I need to download it and I need to put it. I need to put it as the intro and outro music. That's like such a bonehead thing. I just don't think about that stuff all the time. You know, I don't have the mind of an influencer who's constantly like, what's gonna make good content? What's gonna make good content? What's the dude? I need the clip though, dude. I need the clip. I need the clip. I need to make clips, dude. You know. Yo, Scott, Seth's chat is riling him up, making him be nasty. He keeps saying, just go on Reddit, bro. Just go on Reddit, and he's crossfaded as fuck, super cringe. What's that guy's deal? Do you mean he's talking about me? Is he saying like go on Reddit and see what's said about Scott? Something's clearly troubling Seth. I don't know what it is. But I don't think drinking is gonna help him. I think, and I mean, go ahead and run back to him and say this if you'd like, you know, if you'd like. I don't think drinking or anything like that is going to help him. I think he needs to lay off of the stuff if he even can, if he does not have a real problem, right now. Um, and whatever it is, I'm sure it will pass. If it's a girl, if it's a pet, if it's a family member, you know, if it's something you can't move on from, you can at least move forward. If it's something that you can move on from, just give it some time and you'll be fine. You know, I don't know how old Seth is. The way he tried to check me about my age, it seems like he's probably one of those like 21, 22-year old know-it-all Zoomers. Um, you know, if that's the case, then you know, good for him. I wish I was still that young. Um, but like the amount of times I've been pissed off about something and I've been like, it's never gonna fucking get better, and like a month later, I'm perfectly fine. You know, like literally anything too, like homelessness. You know, like when I got kicked out of my parents' house, there was a couple of times I slept outside. I slept under some bleachers. It was a rainy night. It was wet and cold. I slept under some bleachers. It was like late September, early October because I got locked out of the place that I was fucking supposed to be staying at. You know, treated like kind of treated like shit. I'm not gonna lie by my extended family who they were acting like they were doing me a favor. You know, like I can remember being down bad on that level. You know, didn't even have a car to sleep in when I got like again when I got locked out of where I was supposed to be sleeping because instead of at 8 I showed up at 8:30 so they locked the doors, you know, to try and make a point. Like that's my family. That's what my family is. That's just the way they are, you know. They don't even realize how shitty it is. There's no bothering like it's there's no point in even trying to explain it to them. They just don't get it, you know. But we're not even trying to talk about me. I'm just saying, like, I've been down pretty bad in the past, and that's not the only way. And like, I'm here now, and I don't love where my life is. You know, my physical presence. I don't even want to stand up and show you guys. I'm that ashamed of how big I've gotten. You know, my physical body is a representation. It's a reflection of how I feel about life right now. It's fucking shitty. It kind of sucks, but I have been down so much worse than I am now, and I thank God every day that I'm not down that bad right now, you know. Um what I'm trying to say is like whatever's going on, it's going to get better, man. You just got to it's gonna get better, but you gotta be better too, you know? If you're not gonna be the best that you can be, you're not gonna get the best that you can get, you know? It just is the way it is. Not to be fucking what's his face? fucking Jocko Willink or Andrew Tate or some other like you just got to get up and get at it kind of guy. But you know, there is a certain truth to that if we're being honest here. Um, I think the guy is anxious as fuck and drinking himself into becoming a stereotypical shut-in. Anxious about what specifically? I'm curious what your hypothesis is, Mister Mister Declan, Mister Declan. I'm curious what your hypothesis about that is because anxiety is a really weird reason to do something like that. You know, like anxiety is like meaningless. You know, like as somebody who overthinks, as somebody who gets anxious, anxiety really is meaningless, and that's something that has helped me with MMA. That's something that MMA has helped me with. Thank you very much, Official Gambling Academy. I appreciate it. Maybe you can teach me how to win big. Um, that is something that as that oh yeah, that's something that MMA helped me with is like you're scared as shit before you got to walk out, you know? You're standing backstage, you're getting ready to walk out, you can hear the fight before you, right? Cuz like that's what happens is they line you up in a place where like you can hear the fight before you. You can hear the kerfuffle going on, but you can't even see it. And you're like, "Oh fuck, what's going on out there? Oh fuck, that's about to be me. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh man, what the fuck? What am I going to do?" Um if you just put one foot, thank you very much, Mid Melfi as well. If you just put one foot in front of the other, you're gonna be fine. You know, like you're gonna get in there, you're gonna forget the nerves and whatever's going on, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be able to just like do whatever it is. You know, even if you're anxious the whole time through, it's like stagnation is what kills, you know. It's like if you've ever played football, right? We used to do line drills, meaning sideline drills. We used to do Oklahoma drills as well, which sideline drills is like some of these are just like what the fuck are we doing here? One person has a ball, the other person does not have the ball. The guy with the ball has to run, and the dude who does not have the ball has to tackle him, you know, running down a sideline. So there's no way for the guy with the ball to dodge unless he stops or does some kind of forwards or backwards movement, right? He can't like jump out jump out of the way this way and like dodge, right? So the contact is inevitable, right? One of the worst things you can do. Huh. Thank you very much, Juan Guzman, for the $10. $10. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna read that. Right. What I'm talking about with movement versus stagnation is if you're in one of those sideline drills, or if you're in an Oklahoma drill, which is both guys, they start down, one person has a ball, the other person does not have the ball. They have to get up and then bang the contact. Right. Um, if you stop or if you slow down, that's when you end up getting nailed, right? Like if you have the ball. Thank you very much, Heath Holloway, for becoming a member. If you have the ball, right? If you have the ball and you run and then you stop, you're just bang. You're just gonna get plowed. At the very least, if you have the ball and the other guy is running towards you and you keep on running, you have a better chance of breaking through. You have a better chance of knocking that guy on his ass, you know? So it's like that's how you have to think about anxiety is like nobody likes getting hit. Nobody likes getting like in boxing, you know, I almost said football again, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, things like that. Nobody likes getting hit. But if when you get hit you freeze up, or if in anticipation of getting hit you freeze up, you're like, oh, that's when you're not just gonna get hit, but you're gonna get hurt, you know? So overall, when it comes to anxiety, it's like, you know, you just gotta fucking move forward through it. You know, fuck your feelings, just move forward through it, you know? Um R Yeezy is gonna show up to your house with a zip. Better not order that pizza. Him and Seth got off the phone about it earlier. Oh man. Um, who the fuck is Seth? Please tell me. He's my ex boyfriend. Is who he is. Um, I'm gonna read that super chat though for sure in just a second. Juan, just give me a second. I saw somebody say something that I wanted to I wanted to oh yeah, apparently he banned my name. I mean, I don't blame him for that, you know. If people are messing with him using my name, I'd rather him not get messed with using my name, you know. Um I don't like I did get curious. Well, first off, let's read Juan's thing before I forget it. Thank you very much, Juan Guzman, for the $10 again. Preach, brother. Best you can do is let it pass through you, but be in the moment. Everyone goes through it. Exactly. Like one of the worst things you can do is assume that you're the only one who has it bad. And I don't mean that in like what, you think you're the only one who has it tough? I mean that in every way, and that includes anxiety. Like if you allow your anxiety to control you, you're going to forget that the other person is just as anxious, you know. That's how I got over fear of talking to women. Like people, you know, they give me shit because I have a habit of complimenting women and stuff like that. Like it, 31 years old. I would have been 21. I kind of was getting over it by this time, but if you talked to me when I was like 17, 18, 19, 20, I would have been like, dude, what do I fucking say? How do I say it? Dude, my anxiety made it so that I could not talk to women in any way, shape, or form, you know? How I ever got a girlfriend is fucking insane. Actually, I got a girlfriend basically because these girls decided they liked me from afar. I didn't have any game. I just got lucky enough to be a couple of girls' type, and that's it. That's the only way I got girls before the age of like 21, 22, 23, right? Um when I realized though that women are just as anxious about like guys as guys are about girls, and they're just as opportunistic, you know? Like the girls that liked me, a lot of the time they asked me out or they made the first move, and I hadn't ever really considered them romantically before that. But I was like, honestly, I was like, oh shit, this is a surprise. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I guess she's cute. I guess I could give this a shot. Like that's women, dude. That's how women are too, you know? Um so it's like it's just an example of like everybody gets anxious, you know. Everybody is like everybody's freaking the fuck out about something inside their own head, you know. So if you're anxious about something, like I understand it's not good because it causes physical feelings in you, you know. It's not just like I can't stop thinking about this. It's like, oh man, my fucking stomach, dude, like that type of shit. I get it, you know, but like try your best to just be like, whatever, I feel how I feel. I'm gonna do what I want to do though, you know? Um the the wolves en route. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Aryeh's on his way. He's gonna pull he's gonna pull that thing on me. Anyway, good advice, man. Good for all the Seth's viewers, TBH. Yeah, you know. I like I don't want anyone to be down bad. At least, you know, the wrong people to be down bad. And I think Seth is one of the wrong people to be down bad. Even Alex B, you know, like I like Alex B. He's funny. You know, I bet if we were in a room together, we'd get along fine. But it's just a little too easy sometimes to get a rise out of him. So you know, I give him some shit from time to time. It happens. You know, he does everything. You know, go watch the chat. Liquid Brain on Kick. All right, I guess we'll stream snipe real quick. Kirk.Kerm. Liquid Brain, Liquid Brain, Liquid Brain.
Scott said you're jealous that he smashed.
I don't give a fuck about Scott. Shut up about Scott.
He's now making fun of your name. It's really unhinged.
Oh my fuck.
He said you're
Who
messing with the
cares?
wrong guy.
Fake schizo B. Shut up.
Big creature. Sorry, I'm stoned.
Piss on the floor, piss in that hand, and then dump it on the floor. Piss on the floor, piss on your face, piss on the floor.
Thank you,
and
Scott.
then face on your face.
I needed that laugh. Dude, that's my friend you're talking about.
You think you can rip a man's penis off?
Seth, you have to treat Scott Sullivan better, or you're gonna lose him.
Yeah, dude, I that's what I said. They're spreading
This
lies.
crap music.
They
over,
want us to
Sully's
like
gonna
fight or
bend you
something.
over.
I don't know.
Sensei!
I want you to teach me how to fucking kill someone in one punch. Like an elbow through the neck or
Let's
something?
build a snowman.
Oh boy.
And give him a zip rifle, the Great Scott, which when you try to grab someone's junk.
Yeah, you guys, they're going crazy. But yeah, like I did see Seth talk actually some sort of mean shit, you know. He did kind of talk some mean shit about me when this little saga started, you know. I'm not angry about that. You know, I'm not angry about that. It was a little like, "Whoa, where the fuck did that come from?" But I'm not like angry about it. You know, it is what it is. Like whatever. He had he had what I feel is an incorrect um he has what I feel is an incorrect um interpretation of me personally, you know, just as I feel a lot of people do. I think I'm a very misunderstood and frankly kind of underappreciated guy. Um and it's not just by the fish tank world, it's by everybody, you know? Like my entire life I've been the guy who when you need a job done that nobody wants to do, like I'm usually okay with doing it because I know somebody's got to do it and I'm a team player, you know? What do you think Rape Escape was? What do you think hitting on the girls in season 1, etc. was, you know? I when it comes to hitting on the girls on Fish Tank, that was a bit that I leaned into because I was a little bit nervous because I couldn't figure out like what else to do. Like I just I went to the well. People during season 1, they liked how I hit on Letty and Sylvia. They liked that. So I figured, well, it's season 2, maybe they'd like if I hit on Trish. Haha. You know? Oh, it's bitch tank. That's literally what I was brought back to do. So let's fucking do it. Haha. Um like so it's like okay, you know, I'm partly to blame for some people being like, dude, he just fucking goes on camera to hit on the girls, dude. Like I leaned into that too, right? But like a lot of people would be like, nah, I don't want to do that, man. You know? I say yes to a lot of things because it's like, hey, if it's going to be fun, if it's going to be funny, if it's going to advance the cause of this show that I am involved in, then yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Haha. You know? Um but like sorry, I was I'm fucking tired. I got distracted for a second by fucking Seth's I gotta click out of it. I got distracted by Seth's chat for a second. I was reading some stuff, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I'm someone who I don't get appreciated, and yet I do like a lot of things that a lot of people don't want to do. You know, I'm a very underappreciated and very misunderstood guy. I realized that from a young age. I recognize that from a young age. I've kind of made peace with it. It gets fucking lonely. If I'm just being honest with you, it gets lonely, right? But it is what it is. You know, whatever. Fuck it. People suck. What else is new? You know? Um, yous need a job done and no one else wants to. Yous need a job done and hey, yous need a job done and no one else wants to fucking do it. I'm there, kid. I'm fucking there, kid. I'm in there like swimwear, dude. Just fucking hit me up. What what do you think Rape Escape was? I mean, it's not like I walked in like, "Hey guys, I got an idea." That was Sam's idea, you know? And I said yes, and as soon as I said yes, I immediately tried to find ways that it would be a little bit less fucked up, you know? Um, but yeah, you know, it's whatever. Does anyone even know what the fuck is going on? This guy's just Letty if he was male. Oh boy. Was Seth a contestant or freeloader from season 4 or neither? He was a freeloader. He was a freeloader. Scott, if you invited Seth to your Jeopardy stream, that would bury the hatchet. I can't invite anyone to my Jeopardy stream because I'm all fucked up. We have somebody from Japan, somebody typing in Japanese in the chat. I got to see if I can translate this We're gonna see if we can translate this. It's probably gonna be some kind of link to something illegal. Translate. Bada bing, bada boom. Excuse me. Oh, it just says hello. I'm commenting from Japan. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for. Wait. I want to see if I can say something back here. Gonna go here. I want to see if I can get the. You know what? I gotta. Because Google will Google has like it'll say the thing out loud. You know. Oh wait, fuck. There we go.
こんにちは。ここに来てくれてありがとう。あなたはもう死んでいます。
That's the only Japanese that I know, and even then it was not the same. Clicky keyboard sounds awful. Depending on how big the clicks are, depending on how harsh that noise is, I actually think it's a little what's it called? I think it's a little relaxing. I almost get like an ASMR thing going on. Oh, we got another one. Let's see. Oh wait. They said Fist of the North Star. Yep, that's all. That's the only thing I know. Yes, sir. Would have been a good move for your season 2 character if you learned fluent Japanese and only spoke that. That would have been good. The thing is we had Shinji. Like that made it. I'm surprised Shinji didn't mention anything because I got there were two things that I had, right? One was the patches that I sewed. I hand sewed those onto the geese, right? Each one of them said retard. I had some guy, he translated the word retard into Japanese for me, and I had patches of that made. And I sewed them to the geese, right? There was another one. It was I didn't expect to have a Japanese and a Chinese speaker on the show. So like I'm sure Shinji right away knew what that was. He was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But then there was another one that I did not use because Jet actually told me not to. And that was a plaque. It was a plaque, right? Because Shinzen, right? I'll show you guys what Shinzen is. I'm looking for something. Oh wait. Perfect. So like in the form of karate I did, right? We had something similar to this. I don't know if this is exactly like a karate like shrine or anything like that, but there's a shrine that in the form of karate I did at that time we called Shinzen, right? And we used to bow towards it every day and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, we'd be like, you know, Shinzen Nire, what's it called? Yeah, it would be like Shinzen Nire, Kaicho Nire, Nidaime Nire, which is like Kaicho and Nidaime are like they're like honorific titles that were bestowed upon the founder and then his son, right? I believe Nidaime actually means like second in command. I could be wrong about that, but the bottom line is we would always bow towards something like this every day, and I made my own version of that, but instead of Japanese it had Chinese on it, and the Chinese was the letters for Dongya Bing Fu, which is sick man of East Asia, which is what China was known as in political cartoons during the Opium Wars. And like if you say that to Chinese people today, they might get pretty fucking angry about that. They can still be pretty sore about that. So I thought that would be funny if I had that and nobody would know unless you were either a Chinese speaker or if you were like a level 10 China hater, you know? But I didn't expect to have somebody who would actually understand Chinese. I don't know how she would feel about, you know, the Chinese writing, you know? She might be like, "Oh, haha, funny." I don't know, maybe, but yeah. So Jet was like, maybe we hold off on that one then. Maybe we hold off on that one. There we go. Shinto. Yeah, maybe it was like a Shinto practice or something like that, you know? You should have just spoken Japanese sounding gibberish and had Shinji pretend to know what you're saying and have conversations pointing at other contestants like you're talking shit. That would have been a good idea, but I mean, Shinji was cool. I hope he's doing all right. He's someone I haven't talked to in a while that I would like to know what he's up to. I'd like to see if I'd like to see how he's doing. At that time, I wasn't sure if Shinji would be down for something like that, you know? Fist of the North Star is Scott's bio, and it takes place in a realistic depiction of the Dorchester and Roxbury areas. Exactly. If anything, they underdid Dorchester and Roxbury. Scott paid a man $500 to translate one word. I don't think I paid him anything. I did pay for the patches, though, obviously. Oh, man. I live in Tokyo. I fight in an organization called Risen. Really? Is that so? You fight for Risen? I hear Risen is pretty good. I hear Risen is like not a bad carryover from Pride. I don't know if the same guys run it. I would assume not, but like I got into MMA because of Pride Fighting Championships. Like the UFC was cool, but it was really like Pride was like absolutely what I loved to see in mixed martial arts. I miss Pride so much. Man. Yeah, like it sucks because the UFC has taken over so much of the market and won championships they say is bigger than the UFC, but that's just because there's more people in Asia, you know? It's like if I started if I started like a cell phone company in China, I would be able to I would be able to sell to more people than that live in America. So it's like yeah, you could argue that my phone company, if I was able to hit those numbers, is bigger than anything in America. But it's like, well, yeah, that's just a numbers game, though. You know, um, it sucks that the UFC controls so much, and it sucks that the UFC has gone in such an awful way. Because Pride really was like, in my opinion, the pinnacle of what the sport was supposed to be, and everything after Pride, even if it was still good, was just not as good, you know. Um, we should watch some of Shinji's content. Yeah, maybe we should one day. What's your name do you have a Twitter account? I don't know how well he understands me. I don't even know if he's still here. I'm just curious. Um, I'm just I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't even know if he's still here. Is Shinji still on YouTube? I miss that guy. He's my favorite fish tank person. I hope he's doing good. Yeah, I hope he's doing good too. I don't know. I prefer to believe that no news is good news. You know, I'd like to believe that he's just too busy doing his own thing. Like me, like I've gotten less and less involved in this YouTube thing because I've been busy doing my other stuff, you know. Sh- Shinji's dead. You poured water in Shinji's ear. He's dead now. Uh-oh. Scott has a Japanese keyboard at the ready. I'm just fluent in Japanese, and I never told you guys. You would like Napoleon Bonaparte's Pride documentary. I watch Napoleon Bonaparte stuff sometimes. It's pretty good. Um, and I think I watched the Pride thing. The guy who I really miss in terms of martial arts YouTube, um, the guy who I really miss in terms of martial arts YouTube is um Pink Man is what he was called. The Pink Man. Not Pink Guy, you know, Pink Guy from the Filthy Frank universe. I mean, there was this one guy, he was called the Pink Man. His channel might even still be up. I'm just curious. I am kind of curious about that. See, the issue with him though is that yeah, you see, of course, when I type, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, 6 years ago, somebody posted on Reddit what happened to Pink Man's videos. Pink Man used to be really well loved among the martial arts world, on the internet. Unfortunately, he was a little bit Reddit, right? If you aren't aware, a YouTuber named Pinkman has a fantastic series about martial arts frauds in which he exposes fake teachers like Frank Dukes, Ashita Kim, and Dillman. They're some of the best deconstructions of these ridiculous frauds on the internet. He was one of the first guys to really do it on the level that somebody like Napoleon Bonaparte did. You know, like when I watch Napoleon Bonaparte, I wonder if this guy was somehow um inspired by him. Damn, I don't think our Japanese friend is I don't think our Japanese friend is here still. I don't damn. He hasn't answered in a minute. At least I don't see if he's answered. That sucks. I wanted to check out the guy's fights. That's really cool, you know? It's cool that some dude just found my stream, hopped in and was like, "Hey," you know? Um However, his entire martial arts fraud playlist is no longer viewable and has been changed to private. This is bizarre. I hope he hasn't been muscled into silence by some slapsuit. Does anyone know where I could find mirrors of his work or similar works? I would love to watch them with a friend. This is crazy for them to just disappear like this. If anyone knows more about this, please let me know. Um, oh, interesting. Oh, man. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Yeah, and of course, there's a bunch of random people. Like, it goes to Jesse Pinkman. It goes to some random guy named the Pink Man, you know? But, yeah, I don't know. Pink Man was really like he was honestly like an OG of martial arts YouTube, and I miss his stuff because he had just the right amount of like funny stuff in there, and he also did a lot of like debunking like shithead martial artists on YouTube specifically before that was done a ton of. But he ended up turning into like some weird like leftist asshole, you know? He was like some like Proud Boy hater guy, which I'm not a fan of the Proud Boys myself. Like, you know, fucking those guys are annoying at best. But like not like, oh, the Proud Boys are just dumb and annoying, but like the Proud Boys are fucking fascists, dude. They're like a fascist street fighting crew. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? They shouldn't be allowed, dude, they shouldn't be allowed to walk in the streets like that. They're fucking like one of those guys. Like he took a left turn, literally and figuratively, and he ended up like just fucking being annoying, you know. I don't know exactly what the issue was, but I missed the hell out of that dude's stuff. Why did Shinji embrace fighting after you poured water in his ear? Did I pour water in his ear? Yeah, I saw the guy just has a rap playlist on his channel, you know. But hey, I don't know, you know. Not everybody has a not everybody has a not everybody has a YouTube channel so that they can make content, you know. Frank Dukes taught Scott everything he knows. Hell yeah. One of the funniest moments of season 2 is when Tai and Shinji were instructed to have an argument in their native tongues, and you could tell just by body language alone they were dogging each other's cultures. Yeah, I bet they were. That's funny as shit. I don't know if I ever saw that. I need to see that. Man. Seth is watching your old MMA videos talking about how he could squash you like a stink bug. I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could. Man. We got about 15 minutes till I get out of here. I wanted a nice quick stream today. I have like I'm using Professor Messer's Security Plus course, which is free on YouTube. And I like it. You know, I think a little under, if not, I have exactly 20 videos left that I have to do. And I should be Google Risen Fighting Federation. Yeah, I should probably Google Risen and La Leyenda. But yeah, I have like 20 videos that I have to do left. And I'm excited to be done with the thing so that I can actually take my take the test, and hopefully I can pass, you know. If I do, that'll be a big relief and I can start working on skills. But yeah, instead of doing that, I decided I would stream tonight because I love you guys. Because I love it here, damn it. But yeah. That's where the AIDS came from. I told you Sam paid him $200 to do it. I see. Damn. Sorry, I'm just looking around here. Oh, so it was created by the former Pride Fighting Championships and Dream president. So this is, yeah, founded to be the spiritual successor of Pride FC, Heroes, and Dream. Risen carries much of the philosophy, and we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead. Risen carries much of the philosophy and ambition of its two predecessors. Its events are promoted as larger than life events with elaborate opening ceremonies and fighter entrances. Its matches are fought in a roped ring, and it has a rule set inherited from Pride and Dream. The organization also promotes Grand Prix single elimination tournaments where fighters have to fight multiple opponents in the same night. Risen is considered Japan's top MMA promotion. That's exactly what I think MMA is supposed to be. I would assume they also do the yellow and red card thing too. if the UFC added yellow and red cards, it would make it so much better. But I feel like Dana White probably would see that and be like, it's too much like fucking soccer. Dude, we aren't fucking soccer. He'd be like that. He'd be a fucking asshole about it. Dana White's just such a fucking asshole, dude. Like, fuck. The Wikipedia page for the Risen roster of fighters hasn't been updated recently. The only guy on there with an 11-1 record probably isn't him. Yeah, I mean, Wikipedia is not the most it's excuse me, it's not the most. I've never used dark Wikipedia before. Ooh. I kind of like dark Wikipedia better, but anyway, automatic. What the fuck does automatic? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good with that. We'll go back to dark. Fuck. What was I gonna say? They have open weight. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. They have open weight. I mean, the open weight is probably for some kind of Grand Prix sort of situation, you know. Like you used to have Vanderlei Silva, who's like 180 pounds, fighting. I think Vanderlei was 180 pounds. You see their like their middleweight. Yeah, their middleweight is 187, right? Their middleweight and their welterweight is just about what it is in America, but their middleweight, actually no, middleweight is 185. Yeah, that's not crazy. That's not fucking crazy. You know, these are about the same. These are about the same, as what you would see in America. You know, what am I talking about? But yeah, you had Vanderlei Silva, who at one point was like the middleweight champion, going against dudes who were in the heavyweight division. Like he went against Mirko Cro Cop, and he actually didn't do too bad the first time around. Second time around, he got knocked out. You know, like the Grand Prix are a little more open ended. You know, and it's really cool. You got to gain 50 pounds and join the open weight. I could join the open weight right now. Shit. Man. Excuse me. Also, open weight is male, female. Does that mean guys can fight girls? No, it just means male and female has open weight. You know, that would be pretty based though. That would be pretty based, guys. Guys, that would be based. That would be based, dude. Sorry, I'm just checking Twitter. Sorry, just one last thing. Alright, whatever. Scott just getting permanent brain damage from girls with that chromosome hormone thing that Iranian lady had. That Iranian what are you talking about? Are you talking about the chick that she tried to shoot up YouTube? When I hear Iranian lady, that's the first thing I think is like, because I'm pretty sure that was an Iranian, however you say that shit. I'm pretty sure she was from there, you know. Man. Oh, they partnered with BKFC. Hold on. In June 2024, Risen announced a partnership with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, which both companies would allow talent fight. This was definitely written by a Japanese dude in each other's organizations in Bare Knuckle bouts at Super Risen 3 on July 28th, 2024. Choriza Segal, Ty Emery, Takaki Soya, and John Dodson all fought in bare knuckle belts on the undercard. That is interesting. That is interesting, you know. No, it was the one who competed in the Olympics. Ah, shit. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. You're saying my voice is quiet right now? BKFC, that's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, Dark Side Ernie. That's bare knuckle boxing. Burger King fried chicken. I do prefer that. I do prefer that a little bit more. Excuse me. I don't know how to end this stream off. I don't want to end it with a I don't want to end it with a I don't want to end it with a whimper. I want to end it with a bang, but I don't know what else to talk about. You know, I like all I can say when it comes to that woman who got shot though, like stay safe out there, guys. Don't die over somebody who doesn't care about you, because I guarantee you, like, it's Minneapolis. It was a bunch of Somalians who definitely would have like thrown her off a fucking balcony or worse if this chick was in Somalia. Don't fucking die for people who hate you. You know, there's no point to that. Fucking it's foolish, but like I know that none of you need that talk necessarily. It's just like it just feels right to say. It feels right to say. Also, don't be the kind of guy who like makes poor choices politically or socially, you know? Don't be that don't be that guy who can't stop talking about something that is just going to earn you the ire of people around you. Nobody wants to be around a guy who can't shut up about certain people who wear small hats and they like candles and stuff like that. Excuse me. You know, the way we win is not like through overt cruelty. It's not through mercy to the criminal either. But it's not through overt cruelty, you know. There is a benevolence to our ideals and the way that we want things, the way that we need things to be. There is a benevolence to them. And it's important that you live the benevolence of those ideals. And if your ideals do not make you a better guy, more effective, more efficient, if they don't make you into a better person to be around, then you are either A, doing them wrong, or B, you are following the wrong ideal. So just keep that in mind. You know, keep it in mind. I know everybody who watches me is, you know, everybody who watches me is, you know, you guys are absolute chads. You guys are chads is what you are. But I just feel that that's worth saying. I feel like not a lot of people hear that, and not a lot of people believe in that, and that's why you get a lot of fucking grifting pundits and stuff like that. You know, people who politics is just a way for them to make money and to feel like they were right about something. That's really all it is to these people, you know. Still on the AoE 2 or what? Not as much as I used to be. I played last week a little bit. Before that I played a few weeks before that. Nothing crazy. It's tough because I don't like what it does to me when I play one-on-one online. It's one of those games, the toxic side of me comes out, and I don't like that. I don't want that, you know? So because of that, I kind of had to put it down. I'm playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic right now. And I think I'm pretty close to beating it. I am on one of the last worlds, if not the last world. I'm not sure because I haven't played it before. I literally don't know anything about it other than what I'm learning as I play it. And I kind of like that a little bit, you know? Excuse me. KOTOR is good. It's not the best Star Wars game I've ever played, but it's good. I would, as of right now, I would probably rate it like a 7 out of 10. Depending on the day, you might get a 7.5 out of me. It's passable. I do enjoy it. And I will play it again because I'd like to play through as a Sith this time. Just like I've been being really nice to people through this playthrough. Next time, I just want to be an absolute fucking dickhead is what I want to be to everybody in the game and see what happens when I turn to the dark side, you know? We Irish deserve our own holy land and version of Zionism. Unironically, you do. The issue with Israel is not that they want a homeland for themselves. The issue with Israel is that they are not opposed to doing very underhanded things to get it. You know, I don't want to get too deep into the fucking talk with Israel, but I think everybody deserves a home. You know, I think Africans deserve an African home. I think Americans deserve an American home. I think Europeans deserve a European home. Oh, oops, that one was racist though. But yeah, like yeah, Ireland for the Irish, 100%. You know, and you're not Irish just because you're born there. You know, like I think there's a difference between being Somalian born in Ireland and being Irish born in America, right? I don't think I'm Irish, but I think I'm more Irish than a Somalian born in fucking Ireland, if I'm being honest with you, you know? Because Irish in Ireland, thank you very much, Mike Phantom. And there's also somebody who followed me on Twitch. Thank you very much to Awawa. 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 Um Hyraxes are pretty cool. I don't know if that's why they name themselves that, but um yeah, I think that I'm more Irish just due to the extraction than somebody who was born in Ireland but is of Somalian extraction is, you know. But when it comes to a place like America, I think that's a little bit different because the original inhabitants were ethnically replaced. And that is just a fact. We ethnically replaced the original inhabitants of this land. Whether you think that's a good or a bad thing, or whether you think it just is what it is, that's a different conversation to be had. And we could have that conversation and you'll find out exactly how I feel about it. But when it comes down to it, we ethnically replaced the original inhabitants of this land. Therefore, to be American, in my opinion, is something a little bit different. Like just like you can't be Somalian born in Ireland and be Irish. I don't think you're necessarily American just because you were born here. I think there's a delicate balance that needs to be ironed out, you know? I think there is a question of what did your grandparents do or what did your ancestors do? How did they get here? What did they do when they got here, you know? I think there is a conversation to be had about that, you know? The issue isn't they want a homeland, it's that they want to be the only ones with a homeland. Yeah, and that's always an issue whenever anybody's like that, you know? Ever play Shadow of the Empire for N64? No, but I've heard good things about that. I want to play Jedi Outcast, or maybe it was Jedi Academy. Either just the Jedi, as much of the Jedi series as I can. I want to play that because I hear it's got the best lightsaber combat of any Star Wars series, which is really cool. You know, obviously you play Star Wars, you want to swing a fucking glow stick around. Murder House, the game. Can we take a fish tank cruise to Ireland even though we got Dunye on the boat? Oh boy. Are there cruises to Ireland? I really don't like flying. I don't want to have to fly places. I know I'm going to have to man up and fucking do it. Especially I got to go to Brazil, but like if I could take a cruise to Ireland at a time of the year where the seas are more known for being like, you know, calm, I'd do that because like the cruise would be part of the vacation. It's not like I'm hopping on a boat trying to escape the famine with like 70 other people. The boat only is supposed to fit like 50, you know. um like it'd be nice to take a cruise and then be in Ireland. That'd be nice. I don't know if they do that though. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. If they just never assimilate at all, it's just stupid. Yeah, you know. And I don't think having like, here's the thing, right? I have a wife who is not from America. She is an American citizen. She will never be an American. My kids will be American because they have American blood. They have the blood of somebody who was born here and would fight for the country if needed. And my ancestors have fought for the country, and we've been here generations, right? Um, when you have a Somalian who they come here and their whole thing is just let's game the system, and then they have kids here and those kids grow up and they look and they talk and they act like Americans, I don't consider those kids to be American, particularly if they have not given anything up to become American. The price of Americanism is blood. Either A, you intermarry into an American bloodline, or B, you are willing to shed blood, whether it's your own or somebody else's, in defense of the nation. That is the your Sith name should be Darth Armbar. Holy fuck. That's a good one, that's a good one, Dark Side Ernie. That's hell yeah. Call me fucking Darth Armbar. But that is, in my opinion, one of the best and most fair ways to judge Americanism in terms of somebody who was born here, right? When you have two Somalians who they married and they came here and they had kids, and those kids are what somebody who doesn't fucking know anything would consider to be an American, I don't consider that kid to be American still, particularly if they have anti-American views, and that extends to antisocial views, meaning if you know their parents have kids, their kids turn out to be drug dealers or rapists or murderers or just anything like that. I don't care that they grew up watching baseball and they like apple pie and they went to public school in America. I don't care about that. They're not Americans to me, and they should go back. They should be sent back, just like the fucking parents should. ICE should take them too. That's just the way I think about it. Just because you're born on American soil, you should not be considered an American. I don't think that's how it works. If I went to Thailand, I'm not Thai just because I was born on Thai soil. At least I would assume that's not the way it works. I'm pretty sure that's mostly an American thing. You know, I know if I was born in Namibia, Namibia, Liberty Bibbity. If I was born in Namibia, I guarantee you they'd look at me and they'd be like, "You're not Namibian. What are you talking about?" If I was born in Oman, they'd be like, "Oman, get the fuck out of here." You know, they'd be like, "You're not Omanian. You're not Omani. What are you talking about? Get out of here. You just because you're born here? No, that's not how it works, you know?" Scott, did you see what happened to Mizzy today on stream? What would you do if you were the cameraman? No, I didn't see what happened to Mizzy on stream. I'm about to get out of here, but I'll check that out first. What happened to Mizzy on stream? Somebody explain that to me, you know? Somalian physiognomy is crazy. You can spot one a mile off. You really can. It's the top video on the fish tank Reddit. Oh boy, I gotta go back into the fray, is what you're telling me? I gotta go back into the hellhole. So it said, hold on. I gotta do the fucking like, oh shit. There we go. It says on live streamer fail. It says man near misses kick streamer with e-bike, then threatens her to stop filming him. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think I learned my lesson from that one.
Hey, check it out. The next time you do it, this your last warning. You did it to me twice. Stop disrespecting me, bro. I don't know you. Don't let her get you in trouble. Because you a guy, bro. Stop doing that. Don't let a female get you in trouble. It's very disrespectful.
I mean, we walked away.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
Right.
Don't do me like that. I'm going through something in my life. I just lost my mother. I don't need no motherfucking weird-ass people sticking their fucking camera in my face.
What's with people like that guy and thinking that their problem means they get to be rude to people, you know? Hey, I'm going through something. I just lost my mother. It's like, yeah, you're going through it. I ain't going through it. This ain't your fucking sidewalk, you idiot. Get the fuck out of here, you know? Like and this is why you, like, look, I'm not saying the cameraman should have hauled off, but like this is why you got to be willing to fight, because like dudes like that will be like, I just lost my mother. That means I get to hurt people because I'm in a bad mood, and they'll do things like that. That guy's threatening you, you know. Like I said, I'm not saying anyone should have done anything necessarily. You know, I think this guy definitely earned a ticket. You know, and we're going to watch the rest of this for sure. We're only about halfway through. But I heard that and I just wanted to be like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what's with people like that? Scooter riders. What's with e-bike riders? And thinking that because they're having a hard time, that means they get to do whatever the fuck they feel like. Especially to kick streamers who do tickets and violations. Huh. Anyway.
Fuck, bitch. You hear what I'm saying, bitch? Don't do it again.
Oh, sorry.
So last warning, I'm telling you, don't play with me. I don't know you, don't play with me. I don't fuck with you. Weird ass bitch.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going through Mizzy's head right now. You know, it's been a little while since she's been on Fish Tank. She's been aware of MDE for a little while now. I'm wondering what's going on. Wondering what's going on in that head of hers. I have to say, she looks pretty good in this. Let's see, looks kind of cute.
Also, if someone actually gets violent, you're gonna want to film it.
I don't know.
Fucking. This is. Hold up. Look. Just look at the look on her face and pay attention to how she says that, right?
Well, that was wonderful. Also, if someone actually gets violent, you're gonna want to film it.
The way she looked, the way she said that was just like pure disappointment. Like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he just got hired. I don't know if he's like one of Mizzy's fans and he's like simping and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll film for you. Yeah, I'll definitely film for you. Let's do it. Yeah. I don't know what the deal with the camera guy is, but it's just interesting to see how she, like, the look in her eyes even right now is almost like, why didn't you defend me? You know? Like, and on one hand it's like, yeah, why didn't you defend her? I thought you were her friend, right? Like why didn't you start swinging? Not that he should have done it, but there is that question that goes on in our heads sometimes, you know. He shouldn't have done it though. He did the right thing for sure. But there's also like it's understandable, but it's also like women have hopped themselves up a little bit too much on like guy saves girl fantasies, you know. That stopped like 10 or more years ago when feminists decided they wanted to attack men more openly than they used to. Women and feminists in general feminists and women in general have always had a thing for trying to break men down. But it especially became apparent within the last like 10 to 15 years that they absolutely positively were just fucking gunning for us. And it's just funny to see women, and I'm not saying Mizzy is necessarily one of these chicks, but you know, it's just funny to see women like reap what they sow in terms of like men and not like wanting to jump up and be like, hey, you leave the girl alone, you know? And they end up with that look on their face, you know? Like, the way she said that was almost like, oh, and if he does get violent, you're going to want to film it because I guess that's the only thing you're going to do. You're not going to try and fight back or defend me. You're just going to let him talk to me like that. What the fuck? Like, that's almost the way she said that shit. Personally, me, you don't want to do things the way I do them. Okay. I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. All right. I do things the wrong way. So definitely don't do things the way that I do them. But if it was me.
Hey, Heard.
I wasn't put anything in the hood this time.
Yeah, I think I learned my lesson from that one.
Hey, check it out.
Right here would have been it. There wouldn't have been anything else that came after that. It would have been a fight. It would have been, yo, what the fuck was that? And I would have got aggro real quick, you know? Because something like that, no. That specifically was trying to cause fear, and that what he did is assault, you know? People get confused between assault and battery sometimes, you know? Assault is just the act of threatening someone, specifically physically. To me, that's assault, you know? So me, like I said, I'm a dummy. You shouldn't do things the way I do them, especially not in California, where e-bikers like this tend to get away with murder, literally and figuratively, especially if you call them e-bikers. But like that right there, that would have been it. You know, there wouldn't have been any conversation. There would have been no, I'm going through a lot right now, my mom died. It would have been, I bet this dude has dreads. I would have been ripping his fucking dreads out, you know? Fuck that guy. Legit. It would have been disrespectful. That's a like, again, I'm a dummy and I wouldn't even do this necessarily. I'm just blowing off steam. I'm being a dummy blowing off steam. It's a power fantasy that I would never actually do to somebody. But the idea of ripping some dude's dreads out, mm, 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 mm. I don't think the biker is gonna mess with anybody again after that. I think he's gonna learn some humility at that point, you know. But then again, like somebody said the look of betrayal or something. Yes, look of feeling betrayed. Like, look,
Well, that was wonderful. Also, if